Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of three documenting our journey to fire, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our March 2021 budget. I will share all our real numbers, details on our budget, and outline our expected expenses for the month like always, so please hang with me. Hello, March. I'm ready to end Q1 strong. I'm excited to start this month because we'll be budgeting new income. I am also happy with how we've been progressing with our key financial goals, and I think we'll be on track by the end of the year. I might be alone on this, but I love setting up monthly budgets as it's a great way to reflect on last month and forecast or plan what the month would be like, money wise, that is. I've been spending time in investing calculators and adjusting our annual budget to see where we might end up 2021. I know it's only March, but I'm already thinking about December. So there are many ways to budget, but we budget using the zero-based budget method with a tiny buffer here and there. Essentially, all income has a line item in our budget. We track every dollar that comes into our accounts. Our income is either tied to an expense or savings. And when I say savings, that will include our sinking funds, cash, and our investments. The best thing about this type of budgeting is that you're able to collectively track both your expenses and future savings investment plans. I use Excel for our budget and I simply copy over the sheets each month as my budget doesn't really change month over month. We've worked to simplify our budgeting over time. It took time, but we finally got to a budgeting process that works well. We've gotten our budget down to three quick steps. First, we try to make all charges on our joint credit card with Capital One. This will account for about 95% of our expenses for the month. Because we push all expenses on this card, we get about $100 in cash back each month. I then populate our Excel spreadsheet with the current transactions. Secondly, we then automate all of our savings, including investments. I have set up annual investments to our Vanguard retirement and brokerage accounts for the year, but I might adjust or add or change things based on our income. I usually don't need to, but sometimes our income fluctuates enough for us to make adjustments and changes. Then I do a mid-month check-in just to see how we're tracking towards our budget. At the end of the month, my husband and I have a joint closeout meeting to reconcile or review our actuals. That's it. I've come to love budgeting as it's now a breeze for us. So, how much income are we budgeting this month? I really don't know because my income is really fixed month over month and I get paid twice a month, so I don't have three pay period or two pay period months. My income is always the same. But because my husband got a new job, which I'm so happy about, we don't know exactly what his take home pay will be, but we can guesstimate. You know, when you start a new job, the 401k insurance and deductions are not always 100% set. So I use his old income as a proxy, but I can't wait until we get a clear view so I can adjust accordingly. But here's our March income report. Our W-2 is over 89% of our income, and that's because my husband starts his new job this month, so our income will increase and he will be getting his vacation paid out from his old job. By the end of the year, we hope to get our W-2 percentage to about 75% as our passive income continues to grow. So here are the nitty-gritty details. Our W-2 income is projected to be around $12,698, and this represents after 401k and HSA contributions. I will increase our 401k contributions after my husband's first check in his new job, and I hope to hit our 401k contributions earlier in the year as I've been reading that front-loading your investments might be better. So we have no planned bonuses this month, so that would be at $0, but there is a possibility that I might get a bonus this month, but we'll see. I started my job over 4 months ago, so I'm not sure if I qualify for last year's bonus. Our passive income for this month includes YouTube, Google AdSense, our rental income, and a few other small sources. I keep this at a fixed $1,500 a month with hopes to get this to about $2,000 a month by the end of the year. This will definitely not be easy. Once I see us trending upwards, I will adjust this number accordingly. Side hustle income is a new line item for us. I want to start tracking my side hustle income separately. Our annual goal is to bring in $15,000 collectively, and it's been a big struggle. I'm expecting to bring in about $200 in March. So our total expected income for March will be $14,398, which is higher than February because of my husband's new job. On average, we sit closer to $13,000 a month, but I'm not complaining. Now let's look over our expected expenses for March. March was a bit harder to budget for as we still need to lock in our income and our travel plans for the month. We are also doing more repairs on our home, but we don't want to tap into our cash reserve, so we will be using our monthly budget to cover some of these expenses. It's hard to determine when to use a sinking fund versus when to take it out of your budget. Let me know how or when you decide to use your sinking funds in the comments below. I like to tap into them when our expenses are over $500 or if it will drastically adjust our budget. Every other time, we just add the expense into our regular monthly budget. So here's our March expense report. Our top 5 categories this month are savings, mortgage, tithing, childcare, and car payments. I honestly feel like a broken record month over month as these expenses never change. I did add a buffer between our planned expenses and our income just for unexpected expenses that might come up. So our savings rate this month is planned to be around 43%. Our savings strategy or breakout didn't change from last month. We will send 78% to our brokerage account, 5% to my son's UTMA, and 17% to our IRAs. I do want to front load our IRAs, so we will make the change next month and hopefully max it out earlier this year. Overall, our total expenses are just over $14,100 for the month. So let's get into the details. I try not to have too many categories, but this month we had a few more than normal. Savings is always our top line item. We always pay ourselves first to hit our long-term goals, then we create our budget. We plan to save $6,150 this month. This is about $100 short from where we need to be monthly, but I'm okay with that. Next is our mortgage payment at $2,100. Our mortgage is actually $2,095, but I always round up my expenses to the nearest even number. I thought our 2021 taxes would have rolled in already, but it hasn't. We are still being taxed as a non-homestead location versus a homestead location. I did call the county a few times and they said this was sent to my mortgage company, so I will follow up with them again later this week. So because our income is higher this month, so is our tithing. We will tithe $1,440 to our church and charities within our neighborhood. I was not always good with tithing, but this year I set up automatic payments with my church. I posted this on IG recently, but if you know a good charity to donate to, please leave a comment below or DM me. We will be spending $1,256 on childcare this month. We send our son to school 3 days a week, and he has finally gotten back into swimming as well. On top of that, we do allocate a few extra dollars for him just for activities, books, toys, or anything else he may need. I recently went to Goodwill to get him a handful of new books while donating his old ones, so I absolutely love Goodwill as a stop for activities for him. So for car payments, we have just over $29,000 left on our car loan, and I'm happy to say we're past the halfway mark on our overall debt-free journey. We will send $1,000 to Chase that will cover our minimum payment as well as a $300 snowball payment. I do expect us to send more money to debt throughout the month if our actuals come in under budget. For travel, we budget to spend about $520 this month, and this will include my husband having one more work trip with his old company, but I'm happy to say that his new job has absolutely no travel included. My son and I will also go visit my brother and nephew, so we expect to spend money on that trip as well. This would be our first trip together, just the two of us, in over a year. Our utility bills will be about $342. This will include gas, electricity, and internet for the month. Our other utilities are billed on a quarterly basis and will not hit this month's budget. So there is a small increase in our groceries. We plan to spend $315 this month. I have been cooking more at home than normal, so I have been stocking up on our pantry staples, which explains the increase in our bill. Last month we spent about $329. Our car gas bill has dropped to $225. As my husband won't be driving for work trips anymore and his new job has a free electric charger that we'll definitely be taking advantage of. So we expect this number to decrease even more next month. The winter does impact our electric chargers as well, so I'm excited to get into the spring season. As life gets to be a bit more normal, we have decided to increase our entertainment budget to about $200. This includes our Netflix subscription, my monthly hardcover books addiction, and my husband and I both getting about $75 each to spend on whatever we like. My money usually goes to getting more books. Household includes dish soap, hand soap, toiletries, cleaning supplies, and whatever we need for the home. But this month, it will also include getting paint, paintbrushes, and other items at Home Depot for some small repairs that we're doing. So we budgeted $170 this month. Our restaurant budget is $150, and that might increase as the weather gets warmer and more restaurants are opening up their patio. Where we live, 40 degrees is pretty much warm. So we budgeted about $100 for apparel, and that's for my husband who will buy new items for his new job because they'll be working in the office for the first couple of weeks for training and onboarding. Me, I've personally been living in workout clothes basically throughout the entire pandemic with absolutely no shame. Our phone bill with Sprint is $94 for both our phones and it's fixed. We did get a credit last month, so it ended up being about $84 overall. And for gifts, we budgeted about $50 for my sister-in-law, who's the only birthday we have in March. I have a few ideas for her, and I know my son will be happy to create a card for her, so I'm pretty certain that we'll be under budget for this item. Personal care would be about $40, and that's for skincare items for myself that I need to restock up on. And our business expenses stay at about $20, and that's for a few subscriptions that I have. Total expenses for March is $14,172. We do have a buffer this month, so I'm not 100% worried about our budget, but you just never know. So here's our 2021 savings rate tracker. Keep in mind, this is our after-tax savings rate, so it does not include our HSA or our 401k contributions. We have a target to be over 50% for the year, and last year we just about hit that. We are right now trending to be about 43% for the month. In December of last year, we were just under 45%. In January, we started the year at about 42%, and last month we ended at over 45%. So 43% is relatively on par to where we are. But there is some upside if we manage our variable expenses well and my husband's income potentially coming in higher for the month. But I'm not stuck on having a high savings rate as I'm more focused on the actual number or the nominal number versus the percentage. As you know, 50% of $100 doesn't really compare to 20% of $1,000. Okay, so here are my personal financial goals for March. My first goal is to buy secondhand only. Now, this goal isn't for hygienic items or food, obviously, but it's more so for apparel, books, plants, pots, home decor, and so forth. I already love shopping secondhand, but it does mean saying no to Amazon and Target for the entire month. Number two is to sell 2 items on OfferUp. Last month, I sold 1 item, so this is a big push for me. I just need to start posting more items I have around my house and within my closet. Number three is the same from last month, and that is getting my side hustle income over $600. Outside of YouTube income, I was at about $167, which was an increase from last month, but definitely not $600. Number four is still a big priority for me is reading more books. I want to read 2 financial books in March. I almost am done with Quit Like a Millionaire, and I actually love this book, so I'm excited to get into a couple new books. I feel these goals are more achievable than last month, so I'm hoping to cross all 4 of these off my list by the end of March. Now, I still can't believe it's March already, but I think our budget is in a good place. I will be making a Q1 financial goal video at the end of the month to highlight how we are tracking to our overall annual goals. If I can start the year over, I would probably make a better side hustle income plan. I think we're going to struggle to hit that goal, but it depends on my ability to be more flexible or possibly getting a remote part-time job. My husband and I have talked about it, so it's not completely off the table. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.